Hi, I'm Jerry Brimacone from Light Lever Systems, and I wrote the book. Well, okay, maybe not the book, but I wrote several books on creating your Microsoft 365 SharePoint intranet. So this video is on some of the common mistakes I see and have seen over my years of doing this. So come along for the ride, and maybe you'll see some ideas that will prevent uh, undue time, expense, uh, lost faith by your user community, etc. So let's dive into 4 of the common mistakes that people make while creating their SharePoint intranet. So the first big mistake, avoiding proper planning. A lot of the developers will dive into a project and we'll figure it out as we go. That's pretty exciting, but excitement isn't what we're looking for here. We're looking for stability, manageable process. So take a little bit of time up front to lay out the processes, to meet the key communication tasks, the key milestones that you will follow to implement your intranet. This gives you a roadmap to follow, your development team, your contractors, the management, everybody knows what's going on. And it gives you a way that you can structure communications, which we'll talk about in a moment. So take the time up front to proactively resolve issues that may come up in your project. As a sideline, I'll mention in the plan a sort of sub mistake here is that if you overcomplicate your intranet from the beginning, then that is going to make it more difficult for the rollout. So plan a rollout strategy where you have an initial intranet that's fairly simple as you can make it, so that the key features are present when you roll out to your staff or to the users, and not a lot of extra stuff. So plan the dive the plan. Make sure that you plan the project, the communications, and include change management in there. This is a big, complex system. Make sure you know how you're addressing people's need to change. Here's a fact. People are more likely to embrace what they help create. That's a fundamental truth in building these intranet solutions. So make sure you engage the users, ask for their feedback, show them what you're building along the way, create opportunities for as many people as possible or as many people as practical to see your initial releases, your steps along the way, get their feedback, get their input. What do you think of this? How is this looking? Is this going to meet your needs? One of the key ways that we engage users is by knowing what we're solving in the beginning, understanding what are the needs that the intranet build is meeting. Is it replacing old systems? Is it a technical reason? Or is it, as we usually see, that we need to communicate better and share information better throughout our organization? So talk to your users about how that's going to work and keep asking the question, will this draft, will this document library, will this homepage, will that meet your needs to communicate better or whatever their needs are? So this will create a system that meets their needs along the way, and it builds trust. When you get ready to roll out the intranet, they're already familiar with it. They already feel that they've helped design and develop it. They already feel it, that it's our intranet. This is a huge thing. If you can achieve this, it's our intranet from the beginning, then you are miles ahead. And recognize that sometimes people are unwilling to let go of their old systems, whether it's Google Docs or uh, Dropbox or an old SharePoint site or your file server. So make sure you explain to them how this new system is going to be better, or better yet, show them how it's going to be better. So by engaging the users early and involving them right from the beginning and throughout the whole project, you're reducing your risk and you're increasing the likelihood that they're going to be embracing this intranet when you roll it out. It's time well spent. Let's talk about managing change. This is so important. It's already been alluded to in the first 2 points of this video, and that is recognizing that your SharePoint intranet is a people problem, not a technology problem. The technology parts are fairly simple compared to this intranet touching everybody throughout the organization. Everybody's going to be using it in different ways and similar ways. The more you can get the people involved and make them feel that they're building it, the more likely you're going to be successful. So let's not forget about people change management. Now, this is a whole conversation in itself. People change management is huge. I'm not getting into that here. I'm saying recognize that this is an important part of the project and figure out how to do it. Now, we talked about planning in the very first point here. That plan helps you know when to communicate to your users. Remember to communicate, 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 maybe even over communicate. Let people know what's coming, when, and why is it good for them? How are they going to benefit from these new systems? And plan that in advance. Know when you're going to communicate and how. I love to send news articles in SharePoint as the site rolls out, so people start seeing the site as it's being built, and use those tools to communicate to your people in whichever way makes sense to them. A lot of people still prefer email, so use that. A key part of the change management is recognizing that these systems will be rolling down from the top to everybody. So that can mean sometimes get the people at the top involved. If you can get a vice president or a president or somebody at the top level of the company to be speaking about this new intranet rollout and why it's important to us, again, touching on the benefits, why it's good for the organization, that will make your intranet a lot more credible in the eyes of the users. So think of the change management pieces and implement them and execute them as you go. Finally, training. It's not just about teaching the users which buttons to click. It's about why this intranet is good for them. It's kind of like, if you will, a sales pitch built into the training. It's what's the benefit? What's in it for me? Everybody's favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? So make sure you recognize that when you're training people. Keep hitting home with what's in it for them. What's in it for them? What's the benefit of this system? How's it going to make their job easier or the organization run more smoothly? Keep these things underpinning all training. Oh, yes, and you do need training, because a lot of people think, well, the technical people go, yeah, it's not that hard. System's pretty easy to use. Well, it is. If you do a good job, then the system is easy to use. That is no reason to not train people. Training is an opportunity for you to show them the new system and tell them where to get help if they don't understand. Show them the new suggestion box or the way to get to support, or maybe there's some training videos available to them. Show them and teach them how to support themselves. I also find that training sends the message of we care about you. Even if it's a simple webinar on the day of go live saying, yes, this is our new system. This is a milestone that we're live now, and we're going to do a webinar recorded that you can watch at your leisure, or join us at 8:30 on Monday morning to watch it live, including a presentation from the president. Great, do that. And then people see, oh, okay, not only is this system important, it's important enough that they're going to show us how to use it. It sends the message that we care that you know how to use this system. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference to people recognizing that the organization is behind them and recognize it's not just, here you go, have a nice day, but we care that you figure out how to use the system and use it well. Often I'll kick off the project even before we start developing with a Microsoft 365 what's in it for me or what's in it for us session. And this is just an hour-long webinar that walks people through some of the key features of Microsoft 365 and get people thinking about, well, how might I apply that to my job, to my work? If you want me to do that presentation for your organization, go ahead and contact me. I'm happy to do that for you. Building a successful Microsoft 365 intranet doesn't have to be hard, but there are a few mistakes that people make that does make it hard, more complicated, more challenging. Take a bit of time to plan well, to engage your users, to manage change, and include training through all aspects of the project. And you're going to be a lot further ahead and more likely to have a highly successful rollout of your Microsoft 365 intranet. Let me know if I can help in any way. Feel free to check out my books online and reach out to me if there's any questions or comments you have about this video or your intranet build. All right, this is Jerry Brimacombe signing off for now.